Welcome to the Holistic Nurse Casey. I am trying something new. Every month, we're going to have a live workshop. So you're not just going to hear me talk, but you're going to hear a multiple. We're going to have our discussions. This is for me. This is for my interns. This is for my friends, everybody who's starting business. This is my way of sharing and opening up and being vulnerable and saying, nobody has it all together. We need a group. We need to come together. We need to network. And today we're going to be talking about self sabotage. So I am going to invite my live audience in. We have Crystal Simpson. She is my sister. She is a business development coach. Welcome, Crystal.
Hello, thank you for having
And
me.
then we have Ashley Green. She is the digital marketing intern. Welcome in. She is also a business owner. And we have, oh, we want more crackers. We have Stephanie Potter. Stephanie Potter. She is, okay, hold on. She, okay, I'm coming. Okay, welcome. And while I was on a little break, we had Chantal come in. Welcome in, Chantal.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, we can see you, we can hear you. Chantal, she is also a business owner and she is a life organizer. So we all need that in our life, right? Somebody keep us organized. So if you ladies could just hop in and say who you are, where you're coming from. I just wanted to break the ice a little bit.
So
So, go ahead. Go
um,
ahead.
I'll go because I'm going to mute myself in just a minute. I'm currently working and multitasking as we women do. But my name is Chantelle Akar. I'm originally from London, England. I currently live in Orlando, Florida. As Casey said, I'm a life organizer. So I help you to get your space, mind, time, and life organized so you can plan your work your plan, and make your life work. I'm happy to be here and I look forward to our discussion tonight.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Crystal Simpson, and I am from Trinidad and Tobago, and I am currently in Trinidad and Tobago as well. And I am an accountability coach and also an events coordinator and manager. And I am a helper to my clients where I help them get from their idea to their reality. Make sure that their vision happens just as they see it and even exceed their expectations.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome.
Stephanie, you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go. I'll go last.
I'm Ashley. I am currently in Tennessee. I am a full-time digital marketing student and I work at McDonald's and I just got this internship. So we will see how busy life can get. I might need a life organizer.
Welcome. Welcome.
I got you, girl. Where do you live?
In Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. And what are you?
I'm sorry, what am I what? I still didn't hear it.
Oh, sorry. I said, where are you interning?
Oh, with at Preservers of Life.
Oh,
She's
Casey.
excellent. You're going to love it. Get ready.
I'm ready.
And my name is Stephanie. I am from Tampa, Florida. I reside in Plant City, which is a little small town in Tampa. I have a small business called Agency 8, which is an administrative assistant service for startups and small businesses. So I'm glad we're going to have this discussion tonight. I was looking forward to it.
Yes, welcome, welcome, ladies. So, this is going to be, like you said, a discussion. We're going to be talking, we're going to be sharing. Basically, this is a live, and in our next session, I'm recording this and then we will be live, but our next session is going to be live. So, people on Facebook, LinkedIn, they can join in on the discussion. We're going to be talking about self sabotage because, as you know, I run a digital marketing agency and marketing, you see a lot of self sabotaging. Why? Because when people they're excited, they're pumped, they want to go and start the business, they sign up for the LLC, they get their stuff organized, they're ready for the client, and then they get cold feet, right? And the cold feet comes in terms of a lot of different excuses, and I'm not just talking about other people, but even myself, that closing, that actually putting yourself out there to get clients, a lot of self-sabotage comes in. So sort of the way we're gonna have it is, first of all, just as a reflection, holistic nurse talk a lot about reflection. Just reflect on the time. If anybody feels comfortable sharing, uh, if you could just reflect on a time where you self sabotaged yourself. If you feel like sharing, you could share. If you want to share about a client that you had that you saw self sabotage, you could share that as well.
I'll go real quick. Uh,
Hmm.
there are two instances. There was one when I was a teacher, and there were certain personalities as teachers, and they clashed a lot, and there were opportunities for growth as a
I
teacher.
did that.
Oh, the opportunities for growth, but it's like because they were so divided, like partner together to get the job done. So I was able to kind of step in and um, like a extinguisher on the energy that was there because they were always so but because I was able to extinguish that work.
Your audio is breaking up.
Uh-oh, is that a little better?
This is a little better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so personally, where I experienced self-sabotage when I first started, there were businesses that came to me and they were like, I want your help with the board or board. Uh, we just want to get folks to them. Yeah, okay. I wrote, I out to them through a lot at the time. So I had to kind of find self compassion to know, okay, well, maybe it just wasn't the time to work with them. But it was a lot of emotions around that, like sabotaging myself, like, look, they want you and you can't do it, you can't perform. So that was my instance, and the relationship is still there. And I think I hope to maybe like reach back one day and explain where I was and what I was going through, to not like ruin business reputations because it can do that. But my time.
Thank you for sharing. And I'm so sorry the internet was going in and out. Um I've been trying to plug into my actual internet and not to the Wi-Fi. So I don't know if that's on my end or your end. So some of it broke up a little bit. But I thank you for sharing, Chantal.
Thank
And
you.
we have Charmaine that just popped in. Welcome, Charmaine. I just wanted to acknowledge you. Um, So, in entrepreneurship, sabotage sometimes it looks a little bit different from sabotage, self sabotage when you're employee. And some of the things that an entrepreneur might self sabotage is procrastination, right? So, you should do that post, you should jump on YouTube, you should reach out and finish the proposal. Casey, finish your proposal. Send that invoice, right? You should, right? And it's there, and you're like, doing everything but doing what you know you should be doing, right? So procrastination is a big one. Another one is over planning without action. And this one is a sneaky one because you're planning, 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 planning. You're forever planning. You do the website, you redo the website. You do the flyer, you redo the flyer, right? You're just planning, planning, no execution, right? And you might think, oh, I can't do this just yet because, I have to get this right. Oh, I can't put it out there just yet because I have to get this right. And before you know it, 6 months go by and you're paying for all these sites and tools and devices and opportunities, and you ain't bring a dollar in your business, right? I'm just being real here. This is a real conversation. So, over planning without action, and that one you could be talking yourself, making yourself feel like, yes, I have to do this before I could do this. But it's really self sabotage. Another one is, and we see this. This is why we created our business where we have a team structure, but fear of delegating. You feel like you have to do everything. Now here we have a bunch of ladies, and everybody on this platform have a business that can help another entrepreneur. But usually what you find is people are doing everything for themselves. They're scared that if they tell somebody to post something, if they ask somebody to send an email, it just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be like what they need. They feel like they have to do everything because it's their business. And that also could be a very classic sign of self sabotage. Okay. Did I miss anything else? Is there anything else you have seen or observed in terms of entrepreneurship where you see we self sabotage?
I can go.
Go
Um,
ahead.
so, for me personally, I've been in business for the last 10 years, my own business and also helping business owners as well. And for me, this one is is a fear, which is the fear of success. And that usually comes where um, I would realize that I would build a momentum and I would be going at a nice steady speed with my clients. And then because as women, we grew up in a society where we've been told to, play it small, don't overreach, don't overextend. And sometimes then that conditioning, what it does to you is tell you, hey, if you're going to succeed, you need to pull back the reins. And that has been one of my paralysis since I've been in business. And one of the things that I have been doing is not battling, but what's the word? Doing the work, the inner work to get over those hurdles. That is very important because it is a real fear. And even with clients that I work with, I see that where they reach a certain point and then they pull back or they mash the brakes or they decide to pivot when they're just about to reach that hurdle. And yeah, so that's another fear.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And you're talking about exactly what I was going into, talking about the psychological reasons behind self-sabotage, like why we do it. And that was the first one. But the first one I had is fear of failure. But you talked about fear of success, right? So it goes on both ways. Some people, they're like, what happens if I go out there, I market my business, and it's like nobody, I fail, I collapse, like it just doesn't happen, right? Some people that make them so afraid.
Or
Oh, go
or
ahead.
sorry for
Go
jumping
ahead,
in.
Crystal. Go ahead. Finish.
Not just that it collapses or it fails, or what if I get so many clients and then it's like, what do I do next with all these clients? And then I can't satisfy all the
Yes,
clients at the same time, So
yes,
and the thing is, most of the time we can, but just that thinking of we can't
yes,
do it, or even for me, because I came out of a community where you had to live a contented life. You had to
mhm,
be content. You have to play small, be that good girl. What rich? Why you want to be rich? Why you want to have money? And in doing that, those are things that play on your mind, even though that. So when you see yourself exceeding, right? Because like I have clients who would be like, hey, you have the Midas touch. Everything that you do turns to gold, and they come in and they come steady, and then boom, you're like, whoo. this is getting this is going somewhere, and then you
Yeah.
get pulled. What I used to do was I used to take time off without telling my, well, not without telling my clients, but just take a time off, and then I start my business again. That's one of the things that I used to do, right? But what I did this time was I gave myself a year to see what I can do in a year and exceed and over exceed that. So
Mm.
yeah, that's one of the steps that I took for myself for this year. Well,
You
last
know,
year.
you said something really, really profound, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but you said that, like, because I'm just thinking, when you're an employee, usually you work enough so you could cover your bills, right? You're not used to working for and charging like more than what your bills, like exceeding what your bills may cost. So you might, when you might be in your business and your business is bringing in enough revenue where it's like a paycheck, right? But when you may be self-sabotaging where you don't want to exceed that, or you feel limited, anytime you exceed it, you do something to bring it down where it's just like a paycheck, you know?
Yes. That is also true. Sometimes you realize, or even too, where you so you get clients, and your clients pay you a certain amount, and then what could tend to happen is that you forget or not invoice a client, or you forget to collect, or what's the word? Sorry, guys, I'm bilingual, so sometimes I think in both languages. In both languages. Um, Sometimes you even, if you don't follow up on your clients as well as you need to,
Mhm,
with regards to payments and stuff, and
mhm.
that struggle or that mentality as to this is how much I needed and this is how much I got, and then you don't do what you need to do to get your money. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. And I think Chantal was trying to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. Everything you guys said was so good, and then I kind of saw the flip side to that. So where we mentioned procrastination, it's like
Mhm,
ability to get us out. Where we mention over planning, I got execution to get that out. Where I
mm,
heard perfectionism, I got like realism, to get that out.
mm,
When I heard fear of failure or success, I heard like play big and also have our systems to scale, because sometimes we can't really scale because, like you said, Crystal,
mm.
like it might be a disaster. We might blow up and we don't have those foundations in peace in play. So the next step to that, get the systems in order and then find the team to help us follow up. And so they do what they like and everybody's kind of working in their vein. But this is really good and it's like bringing it all together full circle.
Yes, yes. And I love how you think because you're already thinking solutions. Another, before we go into the solutions, another thing I wanted to talk about, like a reason behind self-sabotage, is imposter syndrome. So some people, they have all the education, everybody loves the work they do, but they don't see themselves as the expert. They want to call everybody. They don't think that they can show up by themselves as the expert, as the one that is going to be providing whatever service or product. What you think about imposter syndrome? What are your thoughts? Or have you ever faced imposter syndrome? Anybody?
I'll jump in real quick and say I did, and that's the reason why I didn't like follow up with those additional contracts and connections, because I
Mhm.
was, oh, you just got this by chance. You're not really qualified for this. Oh, you're going to get in there and mess up. Just don't even respond. And I listened to that silly voice. Plus, then I said I was going through a lot at the time, but like I said, those are those psychological reasons. And what again, the solution comes to me. Finally, to overplay that, like seeking, doing that inner work, um,
Mhm.
that help from therapy
Mhm.
or whoever that might be to define that, hey, this is
Mhm.
syndrome. Like, but like just trying to wrap my mind around that, where it comes from, why it's playing out and how to
Mhm.
with things like this. So that's my kind of take.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you have to talk to yourself. You guys talk about that inner work, and it's like nobody could do that for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to capture yourself. You can't just say stop doing this. You have to actually go into yourself and work out why. Not just say stop, get to work, but you have to go back to why am I really feeling like this? What's really causing it? What are the early experiences or thoughts that I had before that is not congruent, or it's not in harmony with where I want to go? And until you address that, you kind of run around in circles, keep sabotaging yourself. The last reason is perfectionism. And I think I know our type A people out there, where you want everything to be just perfect before you execute. I know this is a real thing. Anybody ever experienced or seen perfectionism when it comes to self-sabotaging for your business, where you want everything perfect, just right? I would say for perfection, I know that's not me because I'm the one I leap and then I'll be like, do we have a net? Like, what's down there? Like, I'm such a daredevil, right? But what I see a lot, especially with my LinkedIn audience, is that they have all the systems. They have like everything set up in place. But when they post, you see like one view, one, one person saw. And I see that it's perfectionism because they want everything perfect until they can execute. And until it's perfect, they won't execute on it. And so it's something that I say is like, if you're suffering from perfectionism, definitely get with somebody like me who will push you, but also need the balance of your perfectionism. So that's that's just some of the behaviors. Some things that, as an entrepreneur, some behaviors they may have is like not networking, right? Or avoiding marketing. Now, some people, you should go to that networking event. Like today, I went down to Chantal. It was a hike. But some people are shy, but that's not why they're not going to the networking event, right? Some people say, "Oh, I don't have the business revenue to market my business," right? But that's not really why they're not marketing. It's really self sabotage, right? So, have you guys experienced that with like networking? You show up to a networking event, but you don't even network, or you're paying for marketing, but it's not really going anywhere. Anybody ever seen that?
Yeah, I'll jump in and say too, back on the
Mhm,
perfectionism thing, like as an organizer and always planning, oh, this has to be that way, this, that can get in my way at times. But
mhm,
because I do, like, I have to figure it out. So I kind of fly by the seat of my pants and it always works. And I think that's because I have that plan of action organized, it's going to happen.
mhm,
So I kind of work that out that way. But yeah, with networking, I find a lot of times when I don't want to go, it's when I have the best time. So a lot of times I
mm,
have to like push myself and just go through with it and make it happen. But then sometimes have compassion with myself when I don't make it and understand that it's ebbs and flows, and don't have the fear of missing out. Just understand, hey, it's okay. You've networked. What I do then do to make sure, like I networked last week or whenever, but when I do network, like I can self sabotage sometimes with not connecting with the people that I meet at those meetings. So that's
mhm.
something I want to be more conscious of too, like making sure that when I do gather a card or I do make a connection, that I make that contact because it's very valuable. So not letting those things slip through my fingers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's real, whether it doesn't really matter like what type of personality we have. We always have to catch ourselves. And even some people who have been like, we're starting off, but there's some people who have been in business for a long time and they still self-sabotage, right? And their business becomes stagnant. So this topic of self-sabotage is not just for people who are just starting business. It's for everybody because we're human, right? So let's talk about some of the ways, some of the things we can do to combat self-sabotage. I heard a lot about self-talk and compassion, kindness to yourself. Any other tips about the that you guys experienced that helped you in avoiding self-sabotage or working through it?
I think what I learned is to give myself grace when it comes to my business. Because
Mhm,
we all know when you have a business, you can get overwhelmed by it.
mhm,
But I think definitely if you're doing it by yourself, like in the beginning, you just need to give yourself grace. You
mm.
might not be able to do all this in one day, and that is a okay.
Yes,
Because it's
yes,
another tomorrow's another day. You can get it done.
yes.
So I don't just to go back to the perfectionist part. I don't even put that in my mind.
Mm,
Nothing
mm,
will ever be perfect.
mhm,
So um and it goes back to when I was working my job before, going like full time. I had so much anxiety, like, cause trying to be perfect, and I
mhm.
was like, okay, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Drive myself crazy. So I told myself, in with doing my business, I'm gonna give myself grace. That's gonna always be my word, to give
Mhm.
myself grace of not trying to get everything right, because I'm gonna
Yeah.
run myself down to the ground. So
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
It's so true. That's one of the things I have here is setting realistic goals. Sometimes we feel we shoot ourselves in the foot before we start because the goal wasn't realistic enough, you know? Another thing it says embracing a growth mindset, you know? And it's like not just knowing that you're going to grow a business, but you have to grow as a person. So you have to grow your mind, you have to grow your capacity to learn and take in information, right? It's all a process. Um, it's a whole process that it's not going to happen overnight, like you say, Stephanie. You know.
I
And go
I
ahead,
just
Chris.
to add to the goal setting, having realistic goals. And in addition to that, like what I do with my clients and even myself is to establish or to find true clarity on what it is that I want, who am I serving, and
Mhm,
what is the end result that I'm looking for. When I do
mhm,
have that clarity, it's less likely that I would use any of the methods of self-sabotaging, right?
mhm,
Because then I would not be perfectionist. I would network more. I would
mhm,
be able to deal with my um, imposter syndrome, because those things would I would be clear on what I want and what I'm looking,
mhm,
and then everything else would just fall into place. And I love what Stephanie said, give yourself grace. As humans, we tend to be the hardest on ourselves,
mhm,
and um, we critique ourselves so much when we would tell somebody else, be gentle, take a rest, take a break, or, it's okay this time, it's okay. Say those same words to yourself,
mhm.
and that those are some ways that we could utilize to overcome our self-sabotaging.
Absolutely. And some of the ladies here, they're not able to get on Scream because of the devices and stuff. But this is something that it actually recommends to network. We should network with each other. That helps self-sabotaging, showing up to networking events like this and seeking mentorship. Sometimes sometimes your mentor is not always a professional mentor. It might just be somebody who's gone through something and they're just one step ahead of you, right? So in this community here, you may be able to find mentors. And I, it's not like, oh, some people think, oh, I'm in business. You know, some people, their ego is really big. Like, I'm in business and I have all these professional credentials and I am this person and that person. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you start a business, you're on ground zero like everybody else because it's a whole different world. So I always say we can learn from other people. It doesn't matter your credentials. It doesn't matter your status. Everybody has something to share, and that's why I'm opening up the table for everyone. Like, we are all on the same level. We have so much to share with each other, and basically we want to see each other win, you know. So we come here, we show up for 30 minutes, and we just share. Another thing about self-awareness is sometimes you need a mirror. We as humans, I say, we're created in God's image. That's a reflection, right? So just as we reflect God, we also reflect each other. And sometimes in the reflection of each other, we're able to see parts of ourselves that we didn't even realize, you know, in our little silo working on our business. We didn't even see, hey, I might have this, or I might need to know about this, or I might need to reflect on this. So this environment is like really perfect for anybody who is like really wanting to succeed and they want other people to succeed. Then this is the tribe. If you want to be more visible, yes, Sherman. Okay, I'm glad you could hear. We're glad to have you here. If you want to succeed and you know other women in business and they want to succeed, I do this because what I offer is a value and visibility. Some people are shy. Some people, they are not comfortable with podcasts. They're not comfortable putting themselves out there. But maybe in a group like this, you know, they get their business out, they get themselves out, and it's just a little starter and it's for free, you know. So it's just my way of giving back and opening up connections. And I'm pretty sure as we keep on going, it's going to get larger and larger, and it's going to be awesome. If it does get too large, we may have to break it up because I like this intimacy, you know, I like us being able to share. So that was what I had prepared today, talking about self sabotage in business as an entrepreneur, some of the reasons why we self sabotage, how we can't just stop it, but we have to actually do the work and go inside and figure out why it is we're self sabotaging. And then also, some of the remedies is setting realistic goals, showing up in networking groups, and mentorships. And we have so many beautiful people here in this group just offering so much value. So I thank you. Thank you so much for showing up today. Anybody have any last words, wrapping up, closing up, anything you want to say?
I'll say this was very good. Thank you so much for the opportunity to face these real life issues with one another. And I would just encourage vulnerability, and transparency because, like you said, we are all in this together. We're all carrying things and going through things that no one knows anything about, but we would be so surprised to see that we have more in common than we have not. So, just finding that group where you can be yourself and do that. And then when I call it suitcases, you're carrying around all these things, but when you can lighten your load, somebody else can help you lift it. We don't have to carry it alone. So just be encouraged to unpack those things with other people. And and have a beautiful flight. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Love it. Love it. I love it. And I thank you guys for showing up. I thank you for sharing and having this conversation with me. I told Stephanie if nobody showed up, I was going to have this conversation by myself. But I'm going up like an elevator and I'm taking everybody who wants to go up with me. So I thank you for coming. Next month, I don't have a date just yet, but I will post it. Next month, what we're going to be talking about, we'll be sharing some skills, tips, and tricks about how to do more with less. So if you have any particular trick or skill, I was going to share about a little bit about Chat GPT. Um, some people don't know how to use it, so I was going to just share how to use that. But if anybody has oh, thank you for coming, Danielle. If anybody has any tips or tricks that they use and it really drastically reduces their work, please prepare and come share. Okay? Thank you, ladies. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Okay.